door is open. This door is open. This door is open. This door is open to you. Come on in.
So good morning, everybody. We're having technical difficulties, no surprise. So we're going to start right off welcoming everybody. We're so glad to see you this morning at Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia. And we're going to start off with the announcements. So Lori's going to come up and talk about those.
Good morning. Okay. So first of all, we don't have this announcement, but I was thinking about it on the way over here. So it's going to be 105 today. And so, you know, I know a lot of you in here know how to deal with the heat, but let's just do a little few tips. You want to get your stuff done early in the morning. You want to close your shades down. You want to stay hydrated. Watermelon, cantaloupe, that's hydrated too. It doesn't have to be just water. For old people, I would say, and I'm included now, that you want to not just drink plain water to flush all those electrolytes out. You want to have your Gatorade along with a water and a juice or a milk or something like that. So that's my little 105 heat day, and I hope that you all do well today. So let's go back to our baby contest, and I'm going to start with Snickers because that's mine. Snickers is mine, and I have some fresh figs I just picked this morning, so they're a little bit hard, but they will soften up and turn black. It just takes one day. And I'm in fourth place with $226. Remember, everything goes to the center, and it's all welcomed, every penny. So I did Snickers. Peanut butter is in first place with $7.67 with Donna. That deserves a little applause. Woo! And we're gonna do those karaoke's again, huh? Okay. All right, so Kismet is in fifth place, and that's $37. We appreciate that, Jamie. Zara is a granddaughter, and she's in third place with $274 for Rita. And Fable is Sima's, and she's in sixth place with $26. And Gigi is in second place, and she's got $281, but she has got a big old concert coming up that we're going to talk about next time. So we have, with this baby contest, 1,611 to date. Good job, everybody. Good job. All right. Let's go to the next slide. Hope Garcia, and she's here today. Thank you, Hope. So we are going to have a concert put on for Gigi's baby contest, and it's going to be with Hope and R&B sounds from Motown to Soultown. Friday, August 15th, right here. The doors are going to open at 5:30, and the tickets are only going to be $20. So food and drinks are going to be available for purchase, and it's going to be a fundraiser for Miss Gigi. Woo! We're ready. All right. So we hope that everybody listening will come and support us here at CSL. Thank you so much. Oh, tickets. Tickets are up at the door, and who do I? Oh, okay. So Donna O will have the tickets, and I'm sure you can buy tickets at the door when you come in. Yes. Okay. Next slide. So I'm going to do another family craft night. I'm not going to give up. Nope. And that's going to be August 27th and 5:30 to 7:30. So we'll have all these wonderful craft supplies that have been donated to the center and a love offering for Snickers. And this will be the last. August is the end of the baby contest. So this will be the last one for Snickers. And you can come and use the supplies, give a love offering. And it's just a time to get together and see each other face to face and be a little crafty. A little creative, okay? All right. Is there anything else real quick? No? All right. All right. Thank you so much. And here we go. Here's Donna.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Lori's great with all these craft things she's gotten from Ann and other people. So let's go and we'll make cards because we need to send cards to people who are ill or who are out. Like we need to send one to Evelyn so we can make a card for her and get it to her. So that would be great. So let us now read our mission statement. Will you read it with me? Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia, is the place everyone comes together, connecting in love and learning how to create abundant, joyful, and peaceful lives. A great mission. And now our wonderful band will do their first song.
All right. Given the
You got a time?
I was going to say, given the political climate, this song feels right.
Say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. When you talk about destruction, don't you know that you can count me out? Ooh, you know it's gonna be alright. We know it's gonna be alright. Alright. Say you got a real solution. Well, you know, we'd all love to see the plan. Ask me for a contribution. Well, you know, we are doing what we can. Woo. But if you want money for people with minds that hate, all I can tell you is, brother, you have to wait. You know it's gonna be alright. You know it's gonna be alright. You know it's gonna be alright. Hey, put your hands together with me. Here we go. Woo! You change the Constitution. Well, you know, we all want to change your head. Tell me it's the institution. Well, you know, you better free your mind instead. But if you go carrying pictures with Chairman Mao, you ain't gonna make it with anyone anyhow. Oh, you know it's gonna be alright. 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 That's just a little to come for the concert next Friday. I love peanut butter, but look out, here comes Gigi.
That I'm, come up. You can't talk unless you. Okay, Florence was just at his house. Great. In Liverpool. So hope is that kind of music is what you're going to get. Are we going to get Dawn at all in your concert?
Yes, we are.
Oh, we are going to get Hope as well. Okay, so mother-daughter team is performing this Friday. So
Friday? Yes, this Friday we will be here.
And did you just do the Pointer Sisters?
We just
just tell us
opened
about
for the
that.
Yes, we opened for the Pointer Sisters. I have to share some pictures with Donna so we can show them. But we got to open for them on Friday. Miss Gwen was in attendance. It was amazing. My parents came, and we got to take really great pictures afterwards and spend time with them. And they were dancing in the background while we were singing on stage to open. It was a great, great show. They're lovely ladies. We got to jump, and we were so excited, and we just couldn't hide it. And we were singing all the songs with them. It was amazing. Great show.
All right, so this is who you get when you come to the concert Friday for only $20. You had to pay a lot more to go see her with the Pointer Sisters. So bring your friends. We want a full crowd for this. Hope always puts on an amazing concert, and with Dawn too. Oh my gosh, we just can't lose. So this Friday, get your tickets or just come to the door that night at 7. 6. It's an early concert at 6. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, back to what we're supposed to be doing. So next, we always say one of the what we believe statements, and this time we're going to say it, and then Gwen is going to come and give us a little, what does it mean to her? Because we say it at least I do, by rote, and I don't even think about it. So let's do the slide. Let's do that, what we believe, and then Gwen will come up and talk a little bit about it. So here we go. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. So let's see what Gwen says about this talk.
Okay, so can I have the slide back up, please? Oh, no, not that one. For our what we believe statements, I never really thought about how intricate they are. I mean, I take them, I read them, and they just kind of resonate with me. But it's probably because I've done more studying than a lot of people have about what our concept, our philosophy is here at the center. So I'm just going to give you like a really brief synopsis, and I invite all of you to come to join us at our Science of Mind chats in the morning, because we kind of delve into a lot of things and peel back the layers of that onion. So for what I have, so that just to make you see what I think of this particular thought, is that whatever we think, whatever we believe, whatever we feel, we visualize, we vision, we imagine, all of those things, when we read what we talk about, and that's something that we have to be careful of, what we talk about, the things that, in fact, impress us, the things that impress on our thoughts, those are the things that we create in our lives. So we want to make sure that we keep our thoughts sacred, keep our thoughts protected, because as we always say, what we think about is what we create in our lives, just like our little sign over here says, change your lives, change your thinking, change your lives. So just be mindful so that, because the law of God, it's a blind force, and whatever goes into our subjective state of mind and our subjective thoughts is what we tend to create as conditions. So we can have thoughts of one thing, and then we show up with sickness. We show up with different things. So that's why one reason we say look around at how the world is and think about how it got to be this way. Think back to what you were maybe thinking of or dealing with, years ago and seeing how things move forward in your life. So I know that may not be the best idea in terms of what you see, but that's how I think of it, because what we think is what we create in our lives. And so, like I said, if you have any questions, I'd be glad to talk to you about it. But if you come to our Science of Mind chat or take classes with us, I'm sure you would get more in-depth information and be able to understand it more clearly for yourselves. Thank you for listening.
That's great, and I so appreciate that. And now I'll remember a little bit about what it is. Come on, Bubby. So we don't have this long wait for her to come up. So now we're going to do the diversity quote, and here is Bobby.
Thank you, and good morning. Today I was at the Science of Mind chat, in which advocacy was discussed, and I related to all of it, including, are you willing to be your own advocate? And the quote that I chose is by Dr. Andriette Earle from the book The Inside Out. And the quote is, action is the difference between being an ally and an advocate. So, an example of advocacy in action is also taken from the Andriette Earle essay on many firsts. And the example is between Eleanor Roosevelt was an advocate to many, including the great Black operatic singer Marian Anderson. Due in large part to Eleanor Roosevelt's advocacy, Marian Anderson performed at the Lincoln Memorial because the Daughters of the American Revolution denied Howard University's request to hold her concert at Constitution Hall. Eleanor Roosevelt, a DAR member, resigned in protest and formed a committee to find a new venue. On Easter Sunday, April 9th, 1939, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and you can see that magnificent picture, Marian Anderson performed her 25-minute concert, beginning with "My Country 'Tis of Thee." Her concert is often viewed as a defining moment of the civil rights movement. Amazingly, by the time of her death in 1993, Marian Anderson had performed in every concert hall in America. So, and now a note of my own. At a time when many are trying to erase DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, this story and the story of advocacy needs to be told. Thank you.
Wonderful story. My mother just loved Marian Anderson and Eleanor Roosevelt for doing that. Okay, now it's time for us to all get up and sing our congregational song, Love is My Decision.
It's my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change change my mind. God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. And love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. Ooh. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Let's do that one again. And love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. All right.
Good morning, beloveds. I am so happy to be with you. I am sorry that I couldn't be there for the welcome. We were working out some technical glitches, but we got it done. And so today, what I want to do is really have a deeper conversation with you all about this whole idea. We talked a little bit last week about being an ally, and this week we're looking at advocacy and what that really means. And I'm so happy that they offered up the Reverend Dr. Andriette Earle's comment about how advocacy is action. You know, there is a California Youth Authority facility known as La Honda CYA camp. It's over by Half Moon Bay. And for many years, when those of us that are in training and development or working in the corporate HR world, one of the ways that the camp supported itself was by doing empowerment workshops at this campsite. And one of the things that it was there to do was to teach team building. And, you know, that was kind of the default idea thing. We come there to learn team building. But this California Youth Authority facility also used this camp as a training facility to help young people that had been incarcerated, in maybe the first offense, to come out and to do the work and turn their life around as well. And so I remember going with a group of 30 people to be a student in this class. Now, I was a city kid, so I appreciate the outdoors, but I'm just as happy to look at a picture of the outdoors. I don't necessarily need to be in it all that much, but we were deep in the redwoods. We were deep along the side of a hill, and we were doing things that taught us how to be allies, advocates, and co-conspirators. And one of the things that happen in these training modalities is that it often starts out easy, then it gets a little bit more difficult, then it gets a really more difficult, and then there's the final challenge. And so the first exercise that everybody got to do is this idea of what's known as a trust fall. Now, again, you're building up a team, you're going to count on one another. So you go up and you stand on this maybe 6-foot high platform and you back up to the edge of it, and your team members are there. What you're encouraged to do is to let go and fall back in their arms. And, it's kind of a good place to start. You've worked with these 30 or so people, or you've taken a training with them or a class with them, and you have a sense of them, and you're kind of knowing they're not going to let you fall. And you certainly are not going to let anybody else fall. And so everybody kind of goes through this process, and everyone has their turn when they get up on the stage and they fall back into the arms of the people, and the people clap and shout and let them know how good they did. And that felt good. You really got an idea to see who your allies were in that this whole tribe, this whole group of people was not going to let you fall and hurt yourself. And then you move on to the next part of the course. And the next part of the course was, a plank. And this plank was kind of stretched across, 2 tree stumps and maybe 15 foot across. And, you had the experience that you had that personal challenge where you had to walk across the plank and get to the other side. And if you fell off, that's okay. It was only like a couple 3 foot, off the plank one side or the other. You were taught how to get back up, recoup, get back, and walk across again. So some folks, there was some people of the 30 that were absolute athletes, and they were just getting cute about it. They were like running across the plank, getting to the other side, feeling really good about themselves. And there were other folks that were a little more cautious. Some folks just shuffled across, and they were getting across that thing, and they were going to do it. But everybody had an experience of success at that one. And then you moved on to the third one. And the third one, you knew was going to be a little something different because they put a harness on you, and they had a little grappling hook that went onto this harness. And what you had in front of you was this 16-foot tall telephone pole. But on this pole were little steps built into the side of the pole, and you were to break through your fear. So you were at the next level. You know your allies are encouraging you. They're cheering you on. You can do this. And the team is being your advocate in it. They put you in a harness. Even if you fall, you're not going to hurt yourself. You're going to be taken care of. But you climb the pole. And then when you get to the top of the pole, you realize that there is a little platform. And as you're on this platform, one of the things that you have to let go and jump. Now you're 16 foot in the air and you're standing on this platform. Now, if you're like me, I felt victorious that I could climb the damn thing and not embarrass myself. And I shimmied up this pole on the little steps that were provided, and I got to that platform. And then the instructor said, "Now jump." Well, it was absolutely trusting those advocates that had hooked that safety harness to you that said, "You're going to be okay." And what was interesting to watch is what different people had to do in that moment to be willing to have the courage to do the thing. Again, some of the athletes in the crowd just jumped, and they had a big old time with grins on their faces as they jumped off the thing, and the team caught the harness, and ease them down to earth. Other folks were terrified to climb the thing. And so some people had to come along and kind of bolster them up and have their hand at their back as they went up the few steps and then encourage them to go on. And some people, the instructors had to say, okay, just close your eyes and jump. And so they would close their eyes and kind of fall off the platform. But again, they still had that experience of being caught by the apparatus and protected and eased back down to the ground. Some folks even had to turn around and back off of the thing. But everyone had some success for taking that risk and just going for it, just jumping and going for it. Then the next thing was again 2 trees, 16 foot tall, but there was a log stretched across. And it was just like that plank that we started the day with, where we would walk across. And again, this was a tree stretched across. It had gnarly bumps and it had curves in it. And, you still had your harness on, but it was to have you calculate, have you plan, negotiate. How can I traverse this thing? My goal is I have to get to that other tree no matter what. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get over there? Again, some of the athletes in the group, they just, made it like it was a piece of cake, like they did this thing every day, and they would like walk across. But this was the first time when they walked across, when they got to the other side, they weren't high-fiving one another. They weren't really celebrating the ease of the victory, because they've now watched and witnessed other people having a breakthrough, struggling with their transformation, struggling with doing something that they had to be courageous to do. And so they had a lot more empathy. And I remember I knew I couldn't walk across that log, but I felt that if I sat down on it and shimmied, I could get to one side and get to the other side. And that's exactly what I did. So I didn't walk across, but I shimmied across the thing. Well, then, this was the first thing where some people, no matter their best effort, fell off the log. Now, what they got to experience when they fell off the log is they got to experience that the harness would still catch them, and that people would still love them up when they got down to the ground and gave them that encouragement for having to try the thing. And then all of us that actually made it across, we had to go back and we had to do the thing. And when we got halfway, they taught us to fall off the thing, so that we would have that same experience of not being able to complete the journey, but to fall off the journey. So by this time in the thing, this group of people, they were walking arm in arm to the next event. They were saying, I'm so proud of you. Oh my goodness, you did that. And, I could feel your heart pounding as I was standing beside of you. But they walked as a group, and we walked down this path and we made it around the next corner. And then suddenly there was a 16-foot tall wall. A wall just like you have seen in every war movie, or army training camp movie, or Top Gun or something like that. But there was this huge wall, and the instructor said, okay, for you to pass this course, you must advocate for one another. You must learn how to get everybody over the wall. Because if you all don't make it over the wall, none of you will have been considered to make it over the wall. All the challenges before were for designed for you to understand your capacity, to understand what you could do. It was to also teach you empathy for your other teammates. What are their capabilities? What can they do? Now you are at this wall. It's up to you all to figure out as a group how you are going to get everybody over the wall. Now, that was the human experience of it, because there was one woman in this group that weighed over 400 pounds. And she just knew, I'm done. I'm done. I might as well go home now. I'm so full of shame. I'm tired of being humiliated. And it was like, but no, the team came together. No, 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 no. We're going to get you over that wall. And people came together and they looked at everyone that was in the group. And those 4 or 5 athletes that had been the one that could do everything effortlessly, they came up with the idea that they would be the bottom row. There'd be 3 of them on the bottom row. And if the 2 other athletes could get on the top of the shoulders of those 3 people, they could jump and reach the top of the wall and pull themselves up over the wall to be up there to be able to pull people up. But they knew that this woman had strong upper body strength. So everybody had to come together. 3 more people got on top of the shoulders of the 4 people that were on the ground. And people allowed her to use them as if she was climbing up a mountain. So she got up on the shoulders of the first people with those of us on the ground supporting her. Then she got up on the shoulders of the other people. And soon the 3 strong guys at the top of the wall could bend over and pull her up and got her over the top of the wall. And then she was up there with the 3 strongest athletes, being in a position where she was just as strong as they were. And everybody else went up the sides of the other people. They pulled us up over the roof. And then finally, the 4 on the bottom, 2 came up from the side, and they came up to where it was truly down to the last 2 guys, and they had calculated who they should be so that one could stand on the shoulders of the other, so that the top people could get a hold of the top guy's hands, and then the bottom guy climbed up the back of the second guy and got to the top, and everybody got over the wall. It was an amazing experience, because it taught us how to be there for one another. It taught us how to really be a witness, an ally, and encourage others on the team. It taught us how to advocate and lift up one another's strength to get up and over that wall. And it taught us, quite frankly, how to be a co-conspirator for one another. So what do I mean by this advocacy thing? This advocacy opportunity is when you speak up for someone else. You are their voice in the room when they are not able to express their voice in the room at that time. The story that was lifted up, Eleanor Roosevelt was an advocate. She was personification of the advocacy that we're talking about today. She said, not on my watch. I'm going to find a way. If she had sung at Constitution Hall on that day as it originally scheduled, we would not be talking about it today. We would not be talking about it today. But because of Eleanor Roosevelt's action, because she was willing to go to the wall for the thing, that performance in front of the Lincoln Memorial became something that was remembered and talked about one generation after another. There's a learning in that. And so, for a time like this, for a time that we are living in, we are going to be called to be allies, advocates, and co conspirators. That's what being empowered means. And we are going to have to step up at times when our ego is not going to want us to. We're want to just go away. We're going to want to go into our safe little cocoon and wag our fingers at other people and say somebody should be doing something about this, and bemoaning the fact that nobody's doing anything about this. But we have to remember the wall. Everybody has a role to play. Within this faith, this philosophy, this way of living known as the science of mind, one of the things that we say is we are here to create a world that works for all. Well, if that's true, there are going to be some big walls that we're going to have to get through and over. There are going to be some times when we're going to have to do some trust falls. There are going to be some times when we're going to have to jump, even though we don't know that it's safe, but we're going to have faith in the systems that support us that will be all right. So, this is what we're here to learn. The other thing that we are called to do at a time like this is to truly recognize who our allies are, who our advocates are. Now, if you think about your life, any time in your life, and you look at the people that have truly been there for you, those are the advocates. Those are the ones that have shown up for you. Now, here's where we often miss them. We often miss them, don't even see them, because they don't show up looking like the people we wanted to show up and be the advocate for us. Our little ego wanted to be rescued by some prince or princess on a white horse who's going to come in and swoop us up into the saddle with them and ride off into the sunset. And that's not them. That's who our fantasy wants to rescue us. But who's actually the ones showing up for us might look a lot of very different. And so we have to take a look at, would I recognize an advocate in my life, even if they showed up? And if we look at that, we're thinking, okay, what are the attributes that an advocate would have to have for me to even respect them? Well, maybe it's courage. Maybe it's faith in something bigger than themselves. Maybe it's their ability to always speak up for the little guy or someone else. Maybe it's someone who's not afraid to get their hands dirty to help out a fellow man. Maybe it's, someone that was raised by people who used to raise barns together and go from one farm to another farm to help that farmer out, bring in their crop and get it done. Maybe it's that sense of community is what advocacy is about to me. The work before us is to really recognize, who do we perceive to be our advocates? Now, we play this little mind game with ourselves by saying it should be family. Family comes first. We need to make it ourselves. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you want to leave family in that allied realm and just let them be over there, love them, pray for them, but don't get in it. Don't get in it. Maybe your advocates are coming from some other direction. Maybe they're coming from the spiritual community that you're in right now. Maybe there's somebody on your left or your right that has been your advocate for years and you've never celebrated them for that. You've never looked at them and said, "Thank you for being my advocate. Thank you for standing with me with this. Thank you for driving me to that doctor's appointment. Thank you for going in with me and doing the thing. Thank you for bringing me the chicken soup when I was feeling ill. Well, that was a wonderful surprise and how nice that was. Thank you for speaking up for me at that meeting when I couldn't be there and you knew how I felt and you knew that I needed to have that opinion or that idea placed into the room, but I couldn't be there, but you did it for me. Thank you for that." And then I want you to take a look in your life to see who you are called to be an advocate for. Now, again, it may be that 400-pound person that you got to get up over the wall with your fellow man. It may not be somebody that you think is sexy to be an advocate for them or that you really want to be an advocate for them, but you're the one that was called. That is that phrase that often people will say in communal events where if you see something, you must say something. Okay, that's being an advocate. If you see an injustice, you got to call it out. You've got to say something. You got to be willing to put a little risk in the game yourself for it. But here's the even bigger thing. This week, I want you to ponder and think about, how can I be an advocate for myself? I really cannot be an advocate for someone else unless I'm first knowing that I can be an advocate for myself. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to get my house in order? Do I need to say, I'm shutting my phone off from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. so that I can do my spiritual work? I'm going to advocate for the practices that I hold dear. That new journal that's on the CSL Visalia website, that study guide, I'm going to print that thing out and I'm going to work it because I know this stuff works. So every day this week, I'm going to write in that journal that Simon has put together for me. I'm going to ponder these questions. I'm going to do this deep work and I'm going to do that first before I do anything else. That's advocating for myself. I'm going to go for that walk. I'm going to get my 2,000 steps in, my 4,000 steps in, my 10,000, whatever. I'm going to do that for me because I cannot fully be ready to support somebody else if I am not ready for myself. I'm going to make sure that I get the rest that I need to get. I'm going to make sure that I take the medication that has been prescribed for me like I'm supposed to take it. I'm going to do what I know I feel called to do for me, to be my own advocate so that I can fully be there for someone else. You know, one of the things that they say was, what is the difference between passion and purpose? Passion is acknowledging the gift that you have been given by the divine. It is that talent you have. It's your genius. It's how you show up in the world. It's that difference that you can make, that thing that excites you, that thing that you can spend hours doing and not even realize that time has passed. That's what passion is. Purpose is how you activate that passion for someone else. How can you take the gifts that you have been given and put action to them? Bobby told us earlier this morning that advocacy is the action. And so you have a gift. Maybe it is a gift of listening. Maybe it is a gift of praying. Maybe it's a gift of cooking. Maybe it's a gift of painting and artistry. Maybe it's a gift of organizing. Maybe it's a gift, whatever the gift is that you've been given, that whatever that thing is that you're passionate about, go give it away. There's somebody that's waiting for it, somebody other than you. There's somebody that needs to experience your gift, not somebody else's gift, your gift. That's what we want to do and we are called to do this week. So I want to leave you with this today. Above all else, be your own advocate. Stand up for yourself. Trust. Have faith in the journey. Have faith in the journey that there's going to be something you're going to learn something about. Trust the experience that if ever you are put in a situation where you are called to be an advocate for someone else, you're ready for that encounter. God would not have sent you to that moment if you were not already well equipped enough to be there for the moment. You are enough. All you need to do in that moment is ask Spirit, guide me. May my words be your words. May my thoughts be your thoughts. May my actions be the actions that I'm called for in this moment. Be the advocate. Use the tools that are available to you and go love yourself. Notice this week what you notice and be there for someone else. But most importantly, be there for yourself. See you on the other side. Thank you, everyone.
And now we have a wonderful song by Kevin, Hope, and Dawn.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Need to make a plan. Your heart will be your compass. Just lift yourself in faith and trust you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
Truly beautiful. And be an advocate, let go of the shore. So now it's time for our offering. Can we have the ushers come forward, please? And we will read our prosperity prayer. So join me. Today I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever manifesting itself in my affairs. I am keeping my whole mind and thought and expectation open to new experiences, to happier events, to a more complete self-expression. Everything that belongs to Spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. I identify with success, and I prosper in everything I do. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibility. And we'll show the slide. If you're at home and you want to give to help our program, here is the way you can do it. You can go to our website and click on donate, or mail a check to our address. And we appreciate that outpouring of love. And as you've given your gift, please come up and join, and we're going to make our circle. Here. And now we have a slide that we can say, we bless these gifts and give thanks for all the good that they will manifest. And so it is.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, magicians that are our musicians, as I say that today. And thank you to James and everyone in the tech booth that made today possible. I'm going to ask one last thing. I'm going to ask that you advocate for our community. I want you to go to your social media and say what you experienced today at church. If you were nudged, if you were inspired by the music, if you were inspired by the spoken word, if you were inspired by just seeing one another, tell somebody. And as we come together, we do so uniquely at CSL Visalia. Our benediction is a song that we sing together because we know that peace is possible. And we know and proclaim that a world that works for all is at our beck and call, if we remember that peace begins with me. Join me as we sing our benediction.